In today's video, I'm going to break down downtown Toronto condo prices by bedroom number as we finished up 2023 in December of 2022 and what to expect going forward within the Toronto real estate market. Let's get to it. Hello everyone, this is Sam from SaberiSixRealEstate and Remax Realtron Realty Inc. As always, back with another video for you guys here today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Sam, a real estate agent within the Toronto and GTA areas, working with buyers and sellers. On this channel, we like to talk about everything related to the Toronto real estate market, whether it's market trends, market facts, building reviews, buyer advice, seller advice, area analysis. So if you find this content informative, feel free to subscribe, comment, rate, and review. And also you can find my contact information on the screen and in the description box. But enough of all that, let's get to the point of today's video, which is breaking down downtown Toronto condo prices according to the downtown Toronto condo market by the number of bedrooms. And here we're going to be taking a look at sales that occurred in December. So the last month of 2022. At the time of recording of this video, it's January 3rd. And really, there wouldn't be much use in me assessing January numbers only 3 days in, barely any listings, barely any sales. However, if you do want to see my predictions for the Toronto real estate market in 2023, check out my most recent video where I go through a couple of predictions with regards to what I foresee happening to the Toronto real estate market in 2023. Let me set the parameters here, right? First, what we are considering downtown is the following parameters: C1 and C8. As always, if you're confused as to what these refer to, you can find a link to the TREP maps in the description box. So it's only sales within these boundaries that we're accounting for. Starting out with studio units, downtown studio units. In December, we saw an average sold price of $467,000 with a median sold price of $475,000, only based upon 11 sales. Now, let me break down the context of these numbers. Here, the median is a better indicator because it's only 11 sales, right? But with studios, more than other property types, the range of sold prices is very compact, so the average does a good job as well. Nonetheless, the particular difficulty with studios, and I know this as a Toronto real estate agent, where in the last 3 months, out of the 5 condo buyers I've been working with, 2 of them have been looking for studios in the downtown area. And what I've realized from my underground experience working with Toronto studio buyers in the last couple of months is that a lot of studios are tenanted, and furthermore, the buyer base of studios, as once again evidenced by my Toronto condo buyer clients, are mostly investors, not end users. So why is this important? Well, this is important because when a property is tenanted, it's far more difficult to sell because it's first and foremost, it's difficult to put it on the market, list it, and have a good showing experience. Tenants can be problematic sometimes, and even if the tenant is a very nice tenant, arranging times for viewings can be difficult. And number 2, the buyers often have to assume the tenant, right? Because you can't just kick out tenants anytime you want. There are certain exceptions, of course, when you want to occupy the unit yourself, but obviously investors, unless they want to go through shady means to say they are going to do that, but they're in reality not, investors are not going to occupy the unit. So really this leads to choice units, choice studio units being the vacant units that have high rental yields, but unfortunately those units are rare and investors are having a hard time assuming tenants, and also investors are far more, in my professional opinion, rate sensitive as interest rates are going up. So this is why we see studio sales kind of diminish. Moving forward, let's take a look at one-bedroom condo prices. The average sold price of a one-bedroom downtown Toronto condo in December was $619,000, with the median sold price of $596,000. This is based upon 50 sales, so far more than the studios. And really, in my experience working with Toronto condo buyers, I saw that the demand for one bedrooms, keep in mind, we're not talking about 1+1s. We'll get to 1+1s, but one bedrooms within downtown Toronto to be a little diminished as well. But it's very understandable, right? The entire market is down. There's nothing particular about one bedrooms that makes it especially down. Demand is overall low right now. Interest rates are high. There is a lot of sensitivity to the potential of a recession and further rate hikes. Nonetheless, one bedrooms have struggled a bit more than the other bedroom counterparts that we will get to. Now, keep in mind, that is just from my experience working on the ground. Furthermore, in terms of the actual inventory, right, in terms of the actual one bedrooms that have sold in the last month, when I went through all the sales data, because these numbers I'm presenting to you guys are numbers I derived myself, right? I had to compile a list. And I didn't go through every single transaction, but I went through some of the transactions. Most of the one bedrooms that are included in the list of sales that derive this average and median either belong to older buildings that are by most means really good buildings, but obviously per square foot they're going to be cheaper. By the way, if you want to watch a video where I go through very affordable and cheap buildings that are actually quality, I made a video listing those buildings, so check that out as well. Nonetheless, that's going to obviously carry down the average. And if they have not belonged to the aforementioned older buildings where it's going to be a little bit cheaper here, I saw the sales, the one bedrooms belong to newer buildings, but the newer buildings had far smaller spaces for their one bedrooms. So this is just to, in a roundabout way, say that the choice of one bedrooms, for the most part, not obviously 100%, were not prime choices. It was not prime inventory that we saw in December. Now, just to keep in mind again, once again, I did not go through every single transaction of the 50 sales. I probably skimmed through 20 to 25 of the sales. But let's move forward to 1+1 condos, because in December of 2022, we saw the average sold price of $690,000 from 1+1 condos, with the median sold price of $645,000. So this really, even in a down market, puts things in perspective in terms of the additional value of a +1. Now, this can get a little bit gray because, as I always say, what I do, real estate, and even analyzing the numbers, is not physics, it's not math, it's not a science. There's a lot of variables. It's not an exact science, right? Because sometimes a +1 can be a very, very small media room where it's literally just a small box where the TV is supposed to go and the media set, and they count it as a +1. Or it's a legitimate den that can be used as an office, even sometimes partitioned to be used as a second bedroom. The point here is, clearly here still, the +1, according to the latest numbers, has a lot of additional value when compared to just the one bedroom. But according to these 57 sales, we have to be careful on a case-by-case basis to see which ones have a legit den versus just a very small media room that the builder really just want to shove in there as a +1. Thus far in this video, I would say, going through the prices, the 1+1 prices seem the most attractive to me, followed by the studio prices. I think if you are able to get your hands as an end user on a 1+1 in downtown Toronto for the 640s, 650s, in a choice building, by the way, not in just a garbage building, but in a good building, and it's a good unit with a good layout and good exposure. If you're able to get it in the 650s, 660s, I think it's a good buy. Now, will prices decline further? I have not been agnostic about this whatsoever. I do believe prices will still continue to go down, but it's a different formula for an end user as opposed to an investor. As always, you guys know, I like to say I'd rather have an end user purchase something today that really speaks to them, as opposed to waiting a couple or more months where prices might decline maybe $10,000 to $20,000 further, but the inventory, nothing is out there that really speaks to them. And quickly, let's cover two bedrooms here based on 53 sales, which surprised me. It's quite a amount of sales for two bedrooms. We saw within the downtown Toronto condo market, and really the Toronto condo market at large, an average sold price of $955,000 with a median of $878,000. And quickly, I'll conjoin this with the 2+1 category and cover both. With 2+1 condos within the downtown Toronto condo market, we saw an average sold price of $1,095,000 and a median of $899,000 based on 15 sales. So the 2+1s, we were looking at 15 sales. With two bedrooms, we're looking at 50 sales. Now, what's important to consider here is that both the 2+1 and the two bedroom category, as you guys can see, it's not an accident that the gap between the average and the median prices are the largest, because as I've always said, I'm sorry if you're a longtime viewer of the channel, you're tired of me saying this, but there's a lot of new viewers, so I just want to make it clear. The range of options for two bedrooms in downtown is vast, right? You can have a 900 square feet condo that's two bedroom that you can get for $900 to $1,000 per square foot, or you can have a mega penthouse that's 4,000 square feet in one of the most expensive buildings in downtown Toronto that's also technically 2 bedrooms or 2+1. But nonetheless, as we have the numbers in front of us right now, we see that the only property type in terms of bedroom numbers in downtown Toronto that is above $1 million price point in terms of averages is the 2+1, which shouldn't be surprising. And I hope it goes without saying that, much contrary to the studio and the 1+1 condo types, the 2-bedroom and the 2+1 bedroom types, their main buyer base is not investors, right? They're actually end users. So essentially, most of the buyer base, most of the people buying these 2 bedrooms in downtown Toronto are end users and not investors. Whereas with studios particularly, it's mostly investors that are out there even looking for studios. This is not to say that there aren't any investors looking for 2-bedroom downtown Toronto condos, but in terms of a cash flow, assuming you're only putting down 20 to 25%, right? We're not gonna assume the outlier investor who has 50 to 80% down to put, but assuming you're only putting 20 to 25% down in terms of a purely cash flow perspective, if that is a main priority of yours as opposed to appreciation, 2+1s and 2s are not the best option, whereas studios really are the best option in terms of cash flow. Still, none of them are great, but you know, you're gonna have the least amount of losses with studios as opposed to 2+1s and 2s. Anyways, that is it for today's video. As always, this is Sam from Saberi6RealEstate and Remax Realtron Realty Inc. And if you're curious about how I derived these numbers, I posted a TikTok, a 1.5 to 2-minute TikTok on my TikTok channel, where I go through exactly the process of deriving these figures, deriving these numbers. So if you're curious more about the background, go find me on TikTok and you should see that post as my most recent post, depending on when you're watching this, of course. Anyways, this is Sam from Saberi6RealEstate, Remax Realtron Realty Inc. As always, thank you very much for watching. My contact information in the description box. There is a lot of exciting content that I have planned, area analysis, building reviews, lists, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and stay tuned.